This is Michael Gerace with Clearview Sewer Cams. It is October 24th, 2022. We are located at 960 North Alpine Drive, Beverly Hills, California, 90210. And we are over by the water filtration system at the front of the house. It's enclosed. It's on the right front corner of the house. And there is a 4-inch ABS plastic mainline sewer cleanout. And we're going to set our camera right at the opening. We're going to zero out our camera monitor. And we're going to begin running out toward the front of the house, toward the street. We are in ABS plastic pipe and fittings. We have a very, very long run. And I know that there was another clean out along the driveway as we were driving up the driveway. And there was an ABS plastic joint we just passed, appeared to be in fair and maintainable condition. And it appears that they replaced the sewer line from what we can see. We're going to go real slow at the next joint. I believe that the joint, the ends of the pipe are rolled, so that would be a trenchless pipe bursting. So it's trenchless piping. Appears that may have been vitreous clay at one time or even cast iron and was replaced. I'm going to continue to push out. Coming up to another joint, and the ends of the pipe are rolled, so that is trenchless piping. So we're going to continue to push out, and the joints appear to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. This kind of makes a little tiny bit of a turn. And with trenchless piping, you can pull through the old piping even if it's got a little bend in it, and it will make the turn. It's somewhat flexible. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Continuing out toward the street. A little bit of water in the bottom of the pipe. Coming up to the next joint, appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. Had a little tiny bit of a belly right there, not terrible. A lot of sewer gases floating. You can see all this stuff in the pipe floating around. A little bit of a belly here. Holding some water in here. You do get dips and bellies in ABS plastic because of compaction. Sometimes the way the pipe was laid generally has a bow in the pipe when it's hanging on racks at the supply houses, and you have to lay it with the bow up so it will settle, and some guys lay it with the bow down. Then you end up with this dip and belly in there. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. And we have a lot of sewer gases floating. You can see it in the air, in the pipe. Kind of clouds things up a little bit, makes it difficult to see. Another belly from 133 feet now, pushing out. Coming up what looks like maybe another fitting. Looks like this may be the clean out on the side of the driveway right here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pause right here. We're going to go ahead and pull our camera back now. The dips and bellies in the piping are short enough that not something that we would be too worried about. We're going to pull our camera back now, and we've still got quite a ways to go. We're going to go ahead and transition and move our camera to the next clean out. Go in just a little bit, Steve. Let me look at that. Look like boots right there. What? Boots? Can't tell. Don't think so. No. There's a little minor offset in this joint, but not terrible. We are dropping down into it, which is much better than hitting it and us being below it. It's just probably the coupling that was used. It was probably an all rubber Fernco coupling instead of a good ARC stainless steel band with a neoprene coupling, and that kind of keeps it in line a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just begin pulling back from here now, and then we're going to transition and move our camera to the next clean out. It's getting kind of tough to try and push out from here, and we are out quite a distance. I said you can see the swirling in the pipe, the sewer gases. The sewer gases are toxic. That's the reason why you have heat traps underneath sinks, underneath showers, and you have a built-in heat trap in the toilets and such to keep water in there, which keeps the sewer gases from coming back into the house. Continue to pull out. Looked at all of this, looked at all the piping. I said we have a little bit of standing water here and there. We have some bellies, but they're short enough bellies that not something that we would be concerned about. Not in the trenchless piping, in poly piping or ABS piping for that matter. Some pipes, certain type of piping, cast iron piping for instance, if we have water that is standing and we're holding water in areas, it will deteriorate the piping. Or a CIPP cured in place piping sewer liner. If it sits in the line where the liner has been installed, it can deteriorate a liner. So we're going to continue to pull back now, and we're going to pull back to the clean out, and then we're going to transition. We'll pause for a moment, and we'll move our equipment to the secondary clean out. So we're going to pause for a moment now. Okay, we've relocated our equipment to the secondary ABS plastic mainline clean out along the driveway, and there's the front gate. And going back toward the house, up the driveway, we're going to set our camera right at the clean out and zero out our camera monitor again. Okay, we're going to begin pushing in. Got some cobwebs in there. Looks like we probably have some debris in here from what I can see. We're going to keep pushing in a little bit. Hopefully we get into some water. We got into some water just have some debris in the line a little bit. That's the clean out area dropping into the line. And we do have, looks like some root intrusion in this next joint. Yeah, we do have some root intrusion in this next joint. We're going to pause there and we're going to locate this area. So we're going to pause for a moment. Okay, we've marked this area at 3 foot 8 inches deep, right in front of the clean out with an orange flag, but it's actually 5 feet out into the driveway from there. We didn't want to mark the driveway with paint, so it is even with the flag 5 feet from the border out into the driveway area. So we have heavy root intrusion here in this joint, and that needs to be excavated and repaired. And it's holding debris as well. It's a failed ABS joint. Should not have roots in an ABS joint unless it's cracked, broken, or the coupling has failed. And there is a joint right there that's trenchless piping as well. Appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. We're going to continue to push out. Now we're going to try and push all the way out to the street. Generally, we have approximately 20-foot lengths between joints. That's how long the trenchless poly piping is. Coming up to another joint. That joint appears to be in fair and maintainable condition. That joint doesn't appear to be rolled. It's kind of hard to tell. Or it may be rolled. That is rolled. So that is trenchless piping. And we're going to continue to push out. Got a long section here of about probably 90 feet or so before we get out to the street. Overall length is somewhere in that area. So it's quite a distance. Coming up to another joint, and that's a rolled joint as well. So that's trenchless piping. Appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. We have some cobwebs on the top of the pipe. After a period of non-use where you're not getting a large volume of water through, you will get some cobwebs in the line. Coming up to another joint in front of us. That joint is a trenchless joint. Appears to be in fair and maintainable condition as well. All these joints are fused together at approximately 500 degrees. And that makes the roll. When it melts, it rolls together. You press it together and it fuses it and becomes one piece of pipe. Going to continue pushing out. We should be coming up to a transition here momentarily where we should transition to a different type of piping. This is all property line sewer piping, and then we'll transition to vitreous clay. Now that's a different type of joint. That's an ABS plastic joint which has a coupling. We're going to go ahead and we're going to locate this area as well because that's got a separation and an offset in it, and that can cause some problems. So we're going to pause and locate this area. Okay, we located this area at the end of the driveway, and we are about 6.5 feet out from the left-hand side of the driveway into the middle of the driveway. We marked it at 5 foot 4 inches deep with an orange flag off to the side of the driveway, but we are 6.5 feet toward the middle of the driveway. And we have a very large offset right here, and this is trenchless piping to ABS plastic piping, and more than likely it is a Fernco all rubber coupling which causes the offsets. So we're going to try and jump over this area if we can. Okay, we got over that, and we're going to continue to push out. That area needs to be repaired as well. Now we're coming up to a transition right in front of us. This is our 4-inch to 6-inch transition. It is a lined section of sewer, and more than likely this was vitreous clay. We do have some root intrusion at the bottom, and as we go in slowly you'll be able to see the root intrusion even clearer. We're going to be right on top of it, and we're going to pull back out just a tiny bit. There's a small amount of root intrusion. There's not a lot of root intrusion, but there is some. And this is a CIPP cured in place piping sewer liner. So we're going to continue to push in now. Got a little bit of debris here. Pushing past the debris. The liner so far appears to be in fair and maintainable condition at this time. Going to continue to try and push out to the city sewer tie-in connection. We do have a blister there. On the right hand side we've got a little bubble in the liner to where it did not adhere as well as it should have. We're going to continue to push out. Got some cobwebs in there a little bit. And it looks like we do have a little bit of root intrusion coming through the liner. So the roots are penetrating the liner in here because we didn't have roots all the way down the liner. So at this point we're in the street and the roots have penetrated the liner. I'm going to continue to push in. We have more roots here right in front of us. We're going over the roots. So the roots have penetrated the liner, and it will only get worse. Once they start penetrating the liner, they're going to grow, and then they'll end up tearing up the liner. We have more roots here, and there's roots on the left-hand side as well. Now we're getting quite a bit of roots, and we're holding back a lot of water toward the end of the line. We're getting more and more roots here. And we're going to continue to push in, and we have a lot of roots. We have a lot of roots toward the end of the liner and going out into the city sewer. We're going to try and see if we can push through. The roots are pretty heavy, and we're going to drop into the city sewer right here. We're going to push into the city sewer a little bit and see if we can rinse our camera lens. Sometimes we do have water. We may not. Okay, we got it cleared a little tiny bit, but we had a lot of roots. We've got a very, very large amount of roots in the street. I'm going to try and pull back a little bit now. That's the saddle fitting, and it's compacted with roots. Going to continue to pull back. I don't know that we can even see the pipe. We have so many roots. I can't tell if it's the liner or if it's vitreous clay in here. It looks like it's been lined, but it's failed because it is all wrinkled on the side, and it's wrinkled up here on the left-hand side at about the 9 o'clock area. So that is still the liner. So we've got the liners failed, and we're going to continue pulling out now. We can't really even hydrojet this. We're going to tear this up, and you have a ton of roots in this area. Got a lot of roots, and that's a piece of the liner that's hanging down right there. A section of the liner has completely failed. We're going to pause for one moment. Okay, we're going to continue to pull back. You can see the piece of liner has fallen down, and there's good sized root intrusions that have penetrated the liner. Pretty much the whole way. There are roots here and there in the liner. All of that has roots. So we're going to continue to pull back now slowly. So that's about 10 feet, and then we have more roots in here. Small roots. There's a root bed on the bottom that penetrated the pipe. Got roots coming through here. This is coming back toward the driveway, and then I'll show you the driveway as well. So we're pulling back now, and we have a blister in the liner right there a little bit.
Let me just take this real quick. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm pulling up.
Continue to pull back to the
Get a
offset.
reservation done under your name.
Okay.
Sewer doesn't look like that amazing.
Okay.
I'm just watching the video right now, actually.
Okay.
A little bit. It wasn't in horrible condition in 2018, but it's definitely gotten worse. Everything else so far is good. Termite should be here any second.
More roots here.
Mold is clear.
Okay. Pull
Tell me
back.
anything else?
Nope. Call me after. Yeah.
Yeah, regarding the
So we're going to continue pulling back to the next joint that's offset.
Whenever you have a, sorry.
We're going to go back in just a little bit.
A moment to check on
Is
those
that it,
pockets
Steve?
and get pictures. I
Was
just
that
see
the
these people sending like half-assed text.
Half-assed text with nothing. Yeah.
And then I think with Jacob, are we not doing that showing that all he's trying to
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to shoot him a text, put me on it.
We're going to pause for a
I'll keep an eye
moment.
on.
Okay, we're going to continue pulling our camera back to our mainline sewer cleanout on the side of the driveway. We're on the right-hand side of the driveway as you're entering the driveway from the street. There's a 4-inch ABS plastic mainline cleanout, and we have an orange flag that is right in front of the cleanout, about 6 inches. But the actual area that's offset is about 5 feet into the driveway from the flag. So we're going to continue to pull back. The rest of all this trenchless sewer line appeared to be in pretty fair and maintainable condition. We've only got a couple of offsets that need to be repaired, and then the lateral needs to be addressed. The lateral from the end of the driveway to the city sewer tie-in connection has the CIPP cured in place piping sewer liner, and it's just been penetrated, and it's pretty well torn up. It's falling apart. It's collapsing toward the end of the line, the last 10 feet. And it will end up stopping up the line 100%. What happens that liner breaks down eventually because of the root intrusion pushing on it, and it coming apart, and then it just folds up, and then you can't get through it. Continuing to pull back now toward our mainline sewer cleanout. Now we'll conclude our video sewer inspection. Thank you.